Welcome to Friday Night Ghost Frights. This is Haunted Road Media, and I'm your host, author and ghost historian Mike Ricksecker. A series of real, true experiences and encounters with the paranormal and the supernatural. Ghost tales that may frighten you in the depths of the night. Some may not believe the things I'm about to describe, but I assure you that everything I'm about to tell you is absolutely true. It is up to you, dear viewer, as to whether you believe me or not. This Friday Night Ghost Frights is a very special collaboration video with my friend Dory from Dory Stories, another YouTube channel. Go check her out and subscribe to her channel, please. This is a Christmas paranormal story, which is both heartbreaking and heartwarming at the same time, and is very special to Dory. When Dory was 7, her cousin Sarah was born, but Dory didn't actually get to see her until she was about 2 years old. Sarah was born with many birth defects, you see, many special needs, and lived in a hospital for most of that time. Dory chooses not to focus on the things that were wrong with Sarah, but chooses instead to focus on the beautiful things about her. But she could not talk, and she had very many seizures. In fact, the seizures happened so often that her aunt and uncle found it very hard to take care of Sarah. And at one point in time, Dory actually moved into the household to help take care of the girl. There are a lot of things that you had to be careful about with Sarah. Food had to be soft and bland. Medicine had to be pumped through a tube into her stomach. You had to take strict care of the toys that were given to Sarah, always checking for sharp edges and things that may have come loose on the toys. Happy events like birthdays and Christmas were very difficult because the wrong flicker of a candle could set Sarah off into a massive seizure. This means that for Sarah's short life, her parents had to be very meticulous about everything around the household, especially around Christmas time, where you had ornaments and lights and things like trains that were moving. Anything that moved the wrong way could cause one of those seizures. So toys that had moving or swinging parts were a nightmare. Music boxes that had snow falling weren't allowed. And of course, flashing Christmas lights were absolutely forbidden. It was a challenge. But over the years, the family became very conditioned into working within these parameters. And so it was a very difficult transition when Sarah passed away. They knew that first Christmas was going to be difficult, but they didn't know that it was also going to contain a miracle. Dory's aunt and uncle went about the usual routine that they had, hanging up the Christmas lights in the way that they always had. Foods, of course, remained soft and bland. They checked everything for sharp edges and items that might sway back and forth. Everything was exactly the same, except for the fact that Sarah was gone. Every Christmas light and every strand was checked to make sure everything worked properly. Dory finds it difficult to describe the feeling of the house on that day when they were decorating. It didn't really feel very much different from when Sarah was there. When they took out the little surgical cast that they had turned into an ornament, nobody cried. They felt it as if it was just normal. We're hanging the cast on the tree. It felt like Sarah was right there with them, watching, as she always had. At one point, Dory's uncle asked her to go get a box of ornaments from another room. And it didn't even seem strange to Dory when she walked by Sarah's room and saw her sitting there on the bed. And Dory said, "Hi, Sarah," until she realized Sarah wasn't supposed to be there. But yet there she was, sitting on the bed, looking right at Dory. She was smiling. Her hair was pulled back into a ponytail. She was wearing a pink and white shirt and pink leggings. She was right there. Dory didn't feel afraid. She just felt very confused because she was having images of the tiny coffin that she knew that Sarah had been buried, but yet there right in front of her was Sarah, just smiling at her. Dory's head spun toward the living room where her aunt and uncle were still hanging up Christmas ornaments, and she wanted to say something but didn't know what. What could she say? So she turned back to the room, and Sarah was gone. Dory started sobbing and made her way to the bathroom where she tried to wash the tears away. But when she came out, her uncle saw the redness in her eyes and knew that it had become very emotional for Dory. So as a family, they took a break and had a cry together. So on Christmas Eve, they all gathered together again, having dinner again, soft and bland, just as if Sarah had been there. Music was playing, the lights were on, the ornaments were all set out. They were eating. They were all walking on eggshells. Nobody wanted to be the first to cry. But it was Dory's aunt who was the first to shriek when the lights in the Christmas tree suddenly started blinking. It was an instinct of all the years of wanting to keep her Sarah safe from the lights creating a seizure. Dory's uncle got up and ran across the room to try to find that culprit light that was on the strand to end the blinking. But before he even got to the tree, it stopped. Dory's father suggested that maybe it was a short circuit until her brother pointed out the window and said, "Look!" And there, the lights on the porch started blinking. Again, Dory's uncle raced out there and he started to pull them down when they too stopped blinking all of their own accord. A few moments later, it was the lights on the mantle that started blinking. And when they stopped, it was the lights in the Christmas tree. And then all of a sudden, all the lights started blinking, and they were blinking in accordance to the music that was being played at that time. Dory's uncle asked if he should unplug all the lights. But his wife said, "No, I think it's Sarah trying to reach out. I think she's trying to tell us they don't hurt anymore." Dory's younger brother exclaimed, "I think she's trying to play with us." And then the tension was gone. The room suddenly felt full of Christmas, and even though they were all crying, they were also all filled with joy. The lights stopped flashing and never flashed again. Dory's uncle went and had the electric inspected throughout the house, but there were no problems that were ever found. This story happened over 20 years ago, and Dory still to this day cannot explain it. But she knows for a fact that her cousin Sarah was truly there that Christmas. Thank you for watching Friday Night Ghost Frights. Please let me know what you think of our new show in the comments below. And if you have not yet, please subscribe. This is Mike Ricksecker. Until next Friday night. Till next time.
There was definitely a smack behind us.